Hi. Is that better? Thank you for letting me know. I did turn down sound from the previous program. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, hopefully you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hopefully you can. All right. So, yes, suggested so there was no noodling at all? Are you telling me there was no noodling? Oh, dear. There was no noodling at all? Free fresh noodles? Was there no sound at all? Oh, dear. Oh, well, all that noodles wasted. I hate it when that happens. I guess I'll have to trim that. Well, okay. Welcome. I'll try some noodling later. We'll get. Oh, I'm so sorry. You know, I can tell you what happened. When I did the Freaky Freaks this morning, which is on Rockfin. And there's an echo too. Dang it! Hang on a second. We'll figure this out. It has to do with the fact that I updated OBS, and when I did that, it did some weird things. Okay, so that's correct, and let's do this, and we'll get some, here, advanced audio properties, and there's that, so that should be that. Monitor off should be like that without those. Bear with me for a second. Hopefully this will, we're going to try to correct the problem here. Or maybe I should do that. Is that better? Okay, oh dear. Hopefully this fixes it. Okay, if it doesn't, let me know. We'll try to correct that. So what happened was, again, I know better than to update OBS or anything before you actually use it. So I waited. I updated OBS, but when I did the Freaky Freaks on Rockfin, I noticed that when I faded out the music, it wasn't actually fading in the software. I was doing a hardware fade and it didn't notice it, so I did it by software. When I did that, it turned everything to off. And so even though I could hear it via hardware, you guys can't hear. I gotta, you know what? When I move, I'm going to set this all up into a real studio. And that way, we won't have these amateur hour mistakes. I really do this professionally, like for a living, but for other people. And so I actually spend time doing it, right? And make sure it's all working. And then what happens is you get a degree of complacency, I guess, right? You just get so used to doing it all the time. It's like, I'll fix it. So it's not a stressful situation. But then when it happens, you're like, oh, for crying out loud. Especially when things happen, you don't know what's going on. You're like, oh, dear. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Great to see you this morning from Flat Ear Strip Bear and David Reif and Mark Bloom. By the way, Mark Bloom is going to join me this evening. It'll actually be early morning. Oh, you do hear echo, echo, echo. Dang it. Wow. Let's see what I can do to prevent that. Does that correct the echo? And if that, let me know. I have to do things one at a time. Your screen is frozen. That's not good. All right. Hopefully that corrected the echo. Still echo, Flat Earth Ship Bear? Okay. So if that does, then let me have to look at this. And we'll have to take a look at, sounds good on this end. So again, some are having the problem, some are not. And it looks like to me that I should be in good shape because I only have two sources. Okay. I'm going to go, okay. So Flat Earth Ship Bear is the one with the echo, Kevlar. And Chris, and I'm going to go with Kevlar. So there you go. In Mojo. Okay. So Flat Earth Ship Bear, I'm going to say check to see that you don't have more than one instantiation of your browser open. That could do the trick. Okay. So let's just continue as though everything was going. I also forgot to do our quote of the day in the Rockfin thing. If you haven't done that, again, I was going to say you're not missing anything, but no, I haven't taken anything off of YouTube just yet, but I have added some stuff to Rockfin. And so what that is basically it's a premium service, $10 a month, but you get everybody's stuff. And that includes other providers as well. So Jason Lindgren's Secret of Saturn, as well as Crow 777, as well as Karen B, as well as Brian Stapley's Dose of Reality channel, and Glowbusters. And by the way, if you haven't heard, yes, it's true. I know you're as shocked as I am, frankly, that Glowbusters has a new panelist. Yeah, it's your friendly neighborhood bald guy. Sorry about that. Yep, that's me. I'll be joining them today, my first official time today, joining the Globebusters team other than as a guest panelist. So, noon on the West Coast and all the usual places. Join us there for the Great Baldini joining the Globebuster panel, and we'll talk about some goodies. All right. Let's see what else. Oh, I missed this morning the quote of the day. Back to the Rockfin thing. So you get all that stuff. $10 a month, you get everybody's stuff, the premium content. I do some free content over there as well, so you're familiar with the platform, that sort of thing. But it's like a bonus, right? And they've been really great so far about not censoring us, and about the way that they handle the content creators financially is much better. So they're good to us. We're trying to be good to them as well. So if you can, join up with Rockfin. If it bugs you, then don't. But early in the morning, 4:20 on the West Coast, every day, I do a thing with tuning forks. I have a solfeggio set as well as a healing set that's specifically to chakras, as well as another healing set. So anyway, there you go. Do that every morning at 4:20. There you go. Anyway, this is, I usually do a quote of the day there, and I missed it this morning, so it's, when there's no enemy inside, the enemy outside cannot hurt you. Ancient African proverb. All right, speaking of proverbs, let's get into proverbs, shall we? Ancient wisdom for a modern world, and we'll go right into it this morning, be the 27th chapter of Proverbs. I'm going to do it, I believe this is which one is this? Oh, Tree of Life version. There we go. All right. Proverbs 27. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring. Let another praise you and not your own mouth, a stranger and not your own lips. A stone is heavy and sand a burden, but provocation by a fool is heavier than both. Wrath is cruel and anger is overwhelming, but who can stand before jealousy? Better is an open rebuke than hidden love. Let's bookmark that one. I'll get back to it. Faithful are wounds of a friend, but the excessive kisses are from an enemy. One who is full loathes even honeycomb, but to one who is hungry, even a bitter thing is sweet. Like a bird that strays from its nest is a man that wanders from his home. As ointment and perfume gladden the heart, so the sweetness of one's friend comes from his sincere counsel. Do not forsake your friend or your father's friend, nor go to your brother's house on the day of your disaster. Better a neighbor nearby than a brother far away. Be wise, my son, make my heart glad, so I may answer anyone who taunts me. The prudent see danger and hide, but the naive keep going and pay the penalty. Take a man's garment who puts up security for a stranger and hold it in pledge as security for a seductive woman. If someone blesses his friend with a loud voice early in the morning, it will be taken as a curse. Continual dripping on a day of steady rain and a contentious wife have much in common. Hiding her is like hiding the wind or grasping oil with the right hand. As iron sharpens iron, so a person sharpens the countenance of his friend. Whoever tends a fig tree will eat its fruit, but whoever takes care of his master will be honored. As water reflects the face, so a person's heart reflects the person. Sheol and Abaddon are never satisfied, and neither are the eyes of man. A crucible for silver and a furnace for gold, but a person is proved by the praise he receives. Even if you pound the fool along with the grain in a mortar with a pestle, his foolishness would never leave him. Know well the condition of your flocks, and pay attention to your herds, for riches are not forever, nor a crown from generation to generation. When hay is removed and grass appears, and grain from the hill is gathered in, lambs will provide you with clothing, and goats with the price of a field. And there will be enough goat's milk for food, and food for your household, and sustenance for your maidservants. 27th chapter of Proverbs from the Tree of Life version. I trust that some of those items are not lost on you. Additionally, verses 4 and 5, or rather 5 and 6. Better is an open rebuke than hidden love, and faithful are the wounds of a friend, but excessive the kisses of an enemy. I've gotten myself in trouble more than once here by speaking openly, but generally, about a situation and not identifying the person. Because I didn't want to embarrass that person, but I did want to address the issue, and sometimes it seems better to address the issue openly than perhaps even in an email, direct email, because sometimes it's something that comes up frequently, and this is an indication of that, and so I will address it. Unfortunately, sometimes a person will take that poorly, and I should probably have learned my lesson, but apparently not, because I'm going to do it again. One of my wife and I's favorite memes is an angel and Jesus are sitting there. Jesus says, "What are they doing?" The angel says, "They're making almond milk." It's like, oh, well, I gave them like 7 animals to get milk from. Yeah, they don't like that milk. And he's like, what? Guys. Here's just a general words of wisdom, I suppose. Is that wisdom comes from experience, but not all experiences are shared. When a person, well, let me start here. Most unsolicited advice is worth exactly what you pay for it. So, we'll do that again. Most unsolicited advice is worth exactly what you pay for it. However, when you solicit advice, consider the person that you're asking it of. And I say this because, again, I regularly have people ask me advice or insight into different situations, and I'm usually quite reticent to do so. Not because I don't care or wish to be helpful, but because rarely do I have enough information to really gain good insight. There's never enough, and frankly, I only have enough of the details as whatever that person tells me. Right, so they're giving me their view and what they think is important in a way that I can sort of derive from it. But, again, if there are 2 sides to every story, then the truth is somewhere in the middle, and so you have to sort of extrapolate. So you're working with very little information and understanding that often the person wants to hear, they're not interested in your thoughts. They want to hear their thoughts coming from your mouth. And, I don't do that. And so... But I will, in many cases, because of my care for a person, if they're, again, sincere and they're asking my views, again, I can say, I can't tell you what to do, but I can give you this is my take on something. And so that sort of is what it is. But I'm, say a word of caution here. If persistent request for an urgent advice becomes insistent demands for guidance, and then that guidance is not only ignored, which is your prerogative, but openly mocked, refuted in public numerous times, I think that you can well imagine what their response would be when you ask again. I think I'll leave that there. If I sound upset, I'm not. I think exasperated is probably closer. Don't make demands and then don't like what you get. Because I'm only giving what I see. That may not be appropriate for that circumstance, but I give that caveat to begin with. Don't be angry if you don't like it. All right, I'll leave you with this. In Your Eyes, about 1992, something like that. I'll see you again at 5 p.m. and at noon for Glowbusters.
Trust that was made. Do you remember that you walked away? I'm waiting for the day that I see you in heaven. 'Cause I want to find forgiveness in your eyes. I want to live forever in your eyes. I want to see heaven. I want to see heaven in your eyes. The day it began. Do you remember just how far you ran, trying to save the day and live forever? Do you remember the dream you were shown? Do you remember the peace you'd known? I'll be out on